interesting
Uh-oh.
thing is, I don't
Am I
see
not
that
plugged
just
in?
as pragmatism. I see that
Can't
as a
hear myself.
responsibility.
Why can't I?
I cannot
Oh!
express to you in more sincere terms. You must
What a
prepare
dummy.
your family
I'm such a
now for a
dummy. Wait,
different
what's the
world.
desktop audio? Oh, it's Glenn Beck.
This
I'm
is why I
sorry.
have emergency food from my Patriot Supply.
Turn that off. God, Glenn Beck. Who needs to hear that bullshit? I don't need to hear your bullshit. Glenn Beck. Where does this plug in? Oh, right over here. I'm like, where do I plug in? Oh, there I am. Holy moly. Holy, holy. Holy, holy woly. God, I gotta fix that. Woo. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. How do you do? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ooh. I know that, I know there was an assassination attempt yesterday. Hi, Oren. Oh, fuck yeah. I do hate waking up randomly in the middle of the fucking night. So I do kind of like feel sorry for you right now. But I also love waking up early in the morning because it's like the quiet time and like, people are like still getting their self together. Like me. I can't figure out how to tighten that. It might be my weak hands. Anyway, I had such a great time yesterday. I can't tell you. Yesterday was one of the better days in my life, which not in my life, but in the last few years, I have very I have struggled through this mental illness and through a lot of loss and other things. And so yesterday was absolutely like it uplifted me. It renewed my energy. It made me feel like, I don't know, it just felt really good. Hi, Oomph. It felt really good. I feel like I don't know, I just got really lucky and they didn't kick me out right away and everybody was obviously nice. But I want to talk about like a little bit about what happened. Do you mean someone was walking around permitless open carry, found Florida with their gun? Yes, and they actually, there's apparently no recon on the exterior, on the perimeter of that club. What are there cameras around the perimeter of that club? I don't know. I don't know. Seems to me there should be a perimeter that has like a pretty I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. Shocking. Yes, it is. It's and the guy is very complicated. Now, listen, I get really it really kind of got to me yesterday, last night, when everyone, like everyone is like profiling him, which actually is important to gather the information, to do the profile and understand, how we got to that place, right? I don't, there are people who do that and it's like really, that's important because then we have more answers or, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that. So I think that that's good. I get just really, and it's really just a me thing. I get overwhelmed when a lot of information comes in at once and people start digesting it and like putting stuff out about who he is and what he wanted and da 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 da. And I just yesterday for some reason I got really really I don't know, just really uncomfortable with it. So I just like pulled back. Like I can't. Well, I certainly can't. I can't really engage in it. But it's just I don't know. It just to me these. Well, first of all, these situations are never what they appear to be. Rarely. And I feel like let's let the let's gather the knowledge. Let's just gather the knowledge, and then we'll, I don't know. But I know that's not the way humans work, right? The way humans work is they want to fill the gap, they want to understand it, and they want to do it fast, and they'll take the first or second thing that they see and go and run with it. Kathy, you took a nap. Max looks like a dude who was just a rando nut. Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he's had a lot of interactions with the law enforcement. It sounds like. I mean, it sounds like there's plenty of complexity to look at with this particular guy. I don't know. He seems a little complex to me on the face of it. But again, that's on the face of it. So I don't know. I get a little uncomfortable with that. Trump just trying to get, I actually I don't begrudge you that, Max, because I kind of feel like, I mean, it's hard to imagine how things are rigged like that, because frankly, I just don't think the conditions indicate that there's some kind of great plan. But it does give you pause that in the last weeks of the election season, he's going to, his base is really uplifting him to God status. And that seems very much like an authoritarian move. Now, I don't know what historical examples we could look back towards. I'd be interested to know what other authoritarians experienced this kind of situation. So I think that's, I don't know. And I actually, I'm thinking, I'd like to read, I never did read Strongmen by Ruth Ben-Ghiat. Yeah, very Putin-esque. I know they've been doing it for 9 years, but I think that this is really ramped up. I mean, would you not agree that since the first assassination, like basically the God complex has been like, that machine has ramped up? So I feel like that's like definitely part of the mix now. Ouch. Sorry. Cramp in my foot. They could I know, they could be setting, I don't know. Yeah, he seems to be financially well enough off to slide along with the crazy, and nobody feels adequate to interfere. Yeah, I know, and it has to be black and white. We suck. Yeah. Hi, Jen. Griffin. Love you. He's a liability now. I do know that. I mean, I think that, I think actually there are people who think that he's a liability for their party. Maybe Peter Thiel. I don't know. Good morning. The summer weather continues this week. Oh, that's lovely. We had a nice day here yesterday too. It was overcast most of the day, but it was really nice. It was a good temperature. Really good temperature. Oh, love you too, Jen. Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday was really a weird kind of Pep. Good morning, Pepper Love. It was a weird kind of like, I don't know. I came home. I was exhausted. I ate something because I hadn't eaten anything, and then I took a nap and just kind of dozed, like half awake, half asleep for a long time. And yeah, it was just it was interesting. It was a good, I don't know. I came home and I was just like, this feels so like productive. That's what it was. Okay, I felt like I had actually done something productive. Now, is that true necessarily? Not really. I mean, I didn't create anything. I didn't build anything. Are we having donuts this morning? Oh my God, that sounds so good. Like a hot donut. I want to make homemade donuts. I don't know if I make a difference. Thank you for saying that. But it actually, I think it, well, first of all, I met a few people that are really interesting. Like Firecracker, I've heard her before. She's on the radio. And she's a very interesting woman. Like, I just find her incredibly interesting. And I actually do want to talk to her more. She gave me her cell phone number. So she has a radio program, and so I'm going to talk to her. She's an interesting person. Yeah, she's an interesting person. It's a love bombing when you walk in. I want to talk about yesterday's event if I could. I don't want to buy one. Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Manichean good versus evil framing is pernicious because it means that any violence or oppression without consideration for the opposition as human is legitimate because the side you oppose is evil. Yep. Yeah. And that's really, I was watching a little bit of the right-wing assholes this morning, Glenn Beck and Chicks on the Reich. And they were, definitely extolling the the Biden voter. He's a Biden voter, but he wouldn't vote for Harris or something. I don't know. So, they're pontificating about all of this. And they're pontificating about the Secret Service still. They're really, in what I heard is they're slamming the Secret Service again. Although I think that one of the advanced team is the one that saw the rifle coming through the fence. I don't know. I feel like his inability to control himself also makes it really difficult for the Secret Service to protect him. I'm going to be honest. I feel like he's like the worst protectee in the history of the Secret Service. I would be interested to know like the tell-all on that. You made a huge difference. Folks got to meet someone super nice who doesn't agree with them. Yeah, and I tried to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't go into deep like arguments. I did get a little angry a couple times, but I'm going to be honest with you. I really yesterday tried to moderate my aggression when it comes to arguing. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to go in there and argue. First of all, I didn't expect to be able to go inside. So that's one thing. So when I went inside, I was like, what? I know, oh my God, Oren, you don't even know what was going on in my fucking head, okay? I really tried to stay as positive as I could and not like get really loud or anything. I think I got loud at a couple points just because I am a loud voice, not because I was mad. But anyway. And then, okay, wait. So let's go over the beginning because literally I filmed from the time I was walking up the hill. I filmed and then I went into the lobby and here's the thing. Yeah, loud but cheerful, right? I went into the lobby and I was filming, although it didn't capture it. Like the first 40 minutes of my stream didn't capture. The place it starts is like 30 minutes into when I was there. So I'm kind of frustrated about that, but I can't worry about it because it's just a tech issue and that's the way it happens. And it got some of the greatest parts. It got me going on stage, which I thought was the pinnacle. Okay, so yesterday, for those who don't know, although you probably all know, or at least have an idea, I went to the California GOP town hall, I imagine hosted by the California GOP. And one of the right-wing AM radio stations here was the sponsor, I think. And they had, I actually wasn't in the event. That was their pre-event, where they just had some speakers before they went into the town hall. And so we were in the lobby. They had all their vendors, right? So, blah, blah, blah. And I went in and I had the best. I'm so fucking mad this wasn't on film because this was, I'm so mad. I'm going to have to figure out how to capture this. I went in and one of the guys had a huge TV screen, right? Like 50-inch TV screen. And he had stock charts on it or whatever, charts. And so I'm like, what's this all about? And he said, well, I do crypto and stuff like that. And I said, does Donald Trump have a coin? And he's like, I don't think he does. And I went, okay. He said, but he has NFTs. And I went, NFTs. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. How are they doing? And he said, they're doing really well. And I said, is there trading on them? Like what's been show me like the lifetime of a NFT, right? Show me the price change on an NFT. And he's like, oh, okay, well, let's go to OpenSea, which is one of the main NFT trading platforms, SEA, Open SEA. And I said, great, show me like an NFT. So we go through and it's all the trading cards, right? That's the NFT that Donald has. So it's all his trading cards, and then he sorts them by price. So great, we get the highest price one, the most popular or whatever. And we look at that, and I said, okay, well, great. Can we see the price history? Like what the trading history has been on it? And he's like, sure. Hits a button. Nothing. No trades. 0. I'm like, okay, whatever. I said, so tell me, Mr. Crypto Bro, do you have to be licensed to sell crypto? Because that's what he was, right? He sells crypto or something. I don't know how he described it, but and he's like, oh no, that's like, you want government? I said, yeah, actually I do. I have a Series 7, a Series 8, and a Series 63 as a stockbroker. I went through all of that to get licensed so that I could be a stockbroker and a branch manager and work in multiple states. Those are what those licenses gave me. They gave me the ability to do that. And they were really hard to get. The broker license, the Series 7, is actually a pretty challenging exam. And so I said to him, I said, I think there are, I said, this is a nascent technology. I think it's great. I think, you'll definitely, I'm not a Luddite. I believe in technology. I believe in moving forward with our financial systems, et cetera. I believe in all that. I believe in I believe in all that. I don't know if I believe in decentralization, but I believe in innovation in monetary policy and things like that, in anything. So I said, I think it's a nascent technology, but I think that's when it's important to kind of put some guardrails on, because investors are the people we're trying to protect, right? Like I'm not doing this just to be a meanie. I'm doing it so that people don't get fleeced, because there are bad people out there who will do it. That's why we have licenses in the fucking brokerage industry. so that we don't fucking, so that we know something about what we're doing. And trust me, there's a lot of brokers who are stupid. So it's not exactly the hardest test in the world, that's for sure. But you do have to know something. And I was a branch manager, right? Like I was a branch manager, so I had a Series 8, and that meant I had a whole other level of exam to take about fiduciary responsibility and oversight and, managing brokers, et cetera. So I got that, and I think that, and he's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm not, I don't really, yeah, I didn't really, yeah, no, I don't think that's really, and I said, well, that's great until Mima gets fleeced. And then, then it's not so great. That's not so great. I said, but good luck with your stuff. And he was very nice. Everybody was very nice, actually. So we moved on, but I'm so mad that I didn't get that on tape, because it was really kind of like a really great interview. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And then I went over to this chiropractor that was there, and I said, oh, tell me what made you choose this event to promote your local chiropractic business? And the woman she said she was Polish. She had an accent, and I thought it was a Russian accent. And I'll be honest with you, I get Polish and Russian accents mixed up all the time. I'm not very good on the accent in terms of which language their origin language is. So she's talking. First of all, I'm talking to a young man, and I said, so blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm like, all right. And then the girl's like, what, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, so do you think it's a good idea to promote your business alongside pretty extremist views? Do you think that's you paid for a booth here. So is that a wise investment? Is that the type of, do you have like a ideological bent on your practice and stuff like that? And she's like, we are just trying to raise awareness for health, and everybody deserves to be healthy. And I said, yeah, everyone deserves to be healthy, but you're literally sitting in a MAGA extremist event and acting like, and basically lending your support to it. You gave them money. So, here you are. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. La, 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 la. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to leave you guys alone. Yeah, exactly. One assumes most of the vendors were. Yeah, they probably were. There was TPUSA, Faith. I don't know what. There was Gold Company. Reagan Gold was there. I didn't talk to them too much. I asked them because they had a coin that looked like Flynn's coin. I'm like, is that Michael Flynn's coin? And she's like, no, it's just a bead about boo. And I went, oh, I have one from Michael Flynn. And then I walked off. No. And then I walked around and I snuck in, and then the film starts, right? So then I'm walking around, and then thankfully the stream started. Thank God. So sad to miss those parts, but that's okay. And then you saw, I mean, if you watched it, you saw like I had some really good conversations. Like, the thing about it is, here's the thing. Everyone was incredibly nice, right? I had a shirt on that said Democracy Dino on the front, which democracy really triggers people on the MAGA side. They really hate that word. I think it just is like a trigger word. It's not that the word itself is abhorrent to them. That's not the point. It's that it triggers them to know that the person saying it or wearing it is a lefty. Probably a lot of manly men elixirs, probably. They probably are. I'm sure they are. The gold guys, yeah, they are. And this crypto bro, I mean, literally. And then there was a couple of candidates for local assemblies that had their signs out. And so then I met Firecracker, who is amazing. I've heard her, actually. She has a radio program and other things, but I've seen her on something before. Now I can't even place it, but I felt like I had seen her before. She gave me her cell phone number. I actually might try to talk to her more. But going back to that, it was kind of, and I think you can see it in the stream, or hear it in the stream rather. There's a lot of like intense love bombing when you come in, like when you're part of that. Even if I have signs that say Trump sucks, right? I had signs that say Trump sucks. Agenda 47 equals Project 25, and TPUSA equals groomers. That's what I had, those three signs, and I had them out like the whole time. I sat at a table that was empty, a vendor table that didn't have anybody at it, and I put my sign down, and I put my cards out. And people stopped by and talked to me, and everybody was really nice. But here's the catch. They are begging and hoping. They are assuming and hoping and wishing and wanting and desiring you to want to be one of them. Well, you're here to learn. That's what a lot of them said to me. Well, I'm glad you're here to learn. And then when I asked the one guy who came up and said, Project 25 is nothing like Agenda 47, I said, have you read Agenda 47? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, then how do you know? How do you know? Anyway, yeah. And then, so then they had this like the thing that was at the end of the video where they had some people come up on stage, really like the assembly people that are like not going to get on the main stage inside the actual town hall. So this is like the little pre-event, but it was held in the lobby of this hotel. So they had them all standing out by the vendor area in the lobby as they had these speakers come up on this little tiny stage. So I was standing there with my sign listening to the speakers, and one of the event staff came up, and he was like, you have to go. And I'm like, no, I don't have to go. I said, this is free speech. This is freedom of speech. And I'm not doing anything. And this is a public space. Not public, but it's not an event space. It's the lobby. Yeah, with dino psyops. Yeah, we're running dino psyops. So he said, you have to, and I said, I'm not, I said, I don't have to leave. This is not a ticketed, this is not part of the ticketed event. He's like, yeah, you have to have a ticket to stand here. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I do. Because there's no rope, there's no entrance, there's no ticket checking, there's nothing in the lobby. So, yeah. So he's like, well, I'm going to go talk to the hotel staff. I said, you do that. That's a great idea. And he never came back. But then he was the same guy who tried to grab when I went up on the stage, he tried to grab my tripod because I think he thought that I had rushed the stage. But the woman, Jennifer, who was the MC for the baby part, she invited me. She said, who's the person with the Trump suck sign in the back? And I was talking to someone else at the time, and I didn't hear her. And everyone turned around to look at me, and I'm like, why is everyone looking here? What's going on? What happened? Did Trump arrive? No. Anyway, and she's like, yeah, come on up here. And she's like, don't be sad. I said, are you kidding, lady? You fucking made my day. Are you kidding me right now? I'm going to live rent-free in the head of every one of these attendees for at least the afternoon. At least. So guess what? Your MAGA message had a little bit of a disruption. Not a big one. Not a big one. Just a little tiny one. Just a little tiny one. So, it's just, and I said, I'm not here to like convert anyone, obviously. I mean, I'm surprised you're not kicking me out. I'm surprised you're not kicking me out. So anyway, I thought it was I was really glad that they didn't kick me out. I was really glad that they let me talk to them. They really want people to just be with them. It felt like when I went to this one church once, way back when I went to this new church once to see what I thought of it, like Methodist church. And they just like, when you walked in, this particular congregation were just like, oh, come on. And it felt a little bit like that. Like, oh, you're not really an evil Democrat, are you? You want to be one of us, don't you? You're here to learn. You're obviously curious. You're obviously this. You're obviously that. It was really, really interesting. It was really interesting. I'm being a little bit funny. I'm a little bit exaggerating, but it definitely was a theme with everyone I spoke. Well, almost everyone I spoke with, where, oh, but you're here to be one of us, right? We can agree. We can agree on, and I'm like, no, I have a feeling we don't agree on a lot, but I can still be nice. I'm not, So anyway, I thought. I don't know. I was on a high. I was on a total high. That to me ended up so much better than I thought it would. I thought it would just be like a stupid, I got to stand out on the corner in my stupid suit and hold a sign, and boring. So the opportunity, so I have to thank the California GOP. Thank you for not kicking me out of your event. First off, really, they could have. But yeah, there was a couple ladies who hated me. Okay. There was the woman in the red hair, if you saw her, and she had I think she had a striped top on or something like that. I don't know. But you know what? I think she really liked me. Okay. Cause here's why. So first, she's talking to her husband behind me where I'm standing. And I thought she was talking to me because she was looking right at me. And I said, she's like, oh, I'm talking to my husband. Sorry. And I went, oh, well, I'll marry you if he doesn't show up. And she lost her crap. She couldn't handle that. And the woman next to me, who was very sweet, was like, oh, no, don't say that. Oh, no. I'm like, oh God, you guys, you bigots, come on now, stop it. Stop it. Anyway, from that point on, Redhead fucking hated me. In fact, stood at the front of the audience and gave me stink eye, and I pointed her out. I said, because the woman's like, has everyone been nice to you today? And I said, well, mostly. I said, this woman doesn't like me. And she's like, that's right, I don't like you. And then the guy, okay, so then I'm done, right? She's done talking to me. She tries to make a fool of me. It doesn't work, whatever. And then she's like, okay, it's time to go. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. And then the guys were trying to pull me, literally, these staff guys, the event staff, they were trying to pull me off the stage to the side door to get me out the side door instead of walking back through the crowd to the middle of the lobby where the main doors were. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go this way. So I just went through the crowd. And then I went outside and I put my dinosaur suit on. And then the woman, oh my God, there was another woman who was sitting in a walker. And she stood up from her walker to turn around and flip me the fuck off. Oh my God, the anger in her face. It was palpable. And I said, please do it again because I didn't catch it on film. And she wouldn't. She knew exactly how to get me. She knew how to cut me. She knew she had the power. Oh, the Dino ate. The Dino ate. The Dino ate some souls. The Dino ate souls. Yeah, actually, I did meet a couple people that I'm going to follow up with. And then I was interviewed by a very small YouTube channel, Shift 180, which is a couple of young ladies. I mean, they're younger than me, which pretty much everybody is. But a couple of women who have a podcast. Bobo was looking up their, actually there was alcohol. Oh my God. There was, because there was a woman drinking like a huge glass of wine. Like she was pounding it. Although it was the afternoon, so you know what? Whatever. Day drink. She was definitely day drinking. Okay. It was like 12 o'clock. So just saying. But this Shift 180 interviewed me, 2 young women, and Bobo was feverishly looking up their outlet to find out what their philosophies were because they were being obtuse about it, which is understandable. I think that's not abnormal with different things. Yeah. Yay. Drunk Nazis. Hi, Carla. So they interviewed me after. I thought it went okay. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But the Shift 180 is a weird organization. It's like a youth organization. It's about Gen Z. It's like a leadership organization. They seem to be fairly, they say some of the right things like, women's rights and whatever. I can't remember the other things. But then they also talked about life begins at conception. So they have a little pro-life bent to them. The young women didn't give me that impression because they were nodding along with everything I was saying. But that's also not normal. That's also normal. You could do that when you want to continue, encourage people to keep speaking. So, Janine fans, who are they? What's Janine? Who's Janine? So, I probably may not agree with all their philosophies. Genie fans. Whatever the fuck. Jen's like, fuck it. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It's the first time in a long time I felt really good. And I just came home and just kind of napped. And it was just great. It was really great. It was really great. So I'm happy I did it. Guess what? There's another one. Who sent that to me? One of you guys, I think, sent to me another event that's happening on the 26th. Now I can't remember what it was, but that's okay. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was a good event. I'm proud of that stream. I actually would recommend that stream if to share with people or to. I thought it was a good stream. I thought it was a good, really hour and a half, or hour and change with some deep MAGA. Actually, I spent more time, but it's not on tape. Oh, but okay, I learn. Bird. Oh, Piro. No. You know who was there that I missed because he was in a conference room the whole time? Fucking Gomert. Gomert Pyle. God, I'm so mad. So mad. Gomert Pyle was there and I fucking missed him. I'm mad about that. Anyway. So, yeah, it was great. It was a great day. Okay. So I asked someone about Charlie Kirk. I'm like, is Charlie Kirk here? And they're like, he filmed something for the event. I'm like, then he's not here. Okay? You can't say Charlie Kirk is going to be here on your fucking little PDF. And then he doesn't show. He sends a tape? Who cares? So, yeah. I don't know. And also, I did search for Larry Elder, who is the California Republican that went up against Newsom. He's been around for a very long time. He's also a right-wing radio host. I know, the reality of seeing CK. I know. No, I didn't really want to see him. I don't care. But I thought, what a cheap ass move just to send a tape of yourself. Who couldn't do that? I know, they were struggling. California GOP. They clearly don't have a lot of power here in the state. So, it is what it is. But yeah, really good event. Really happy I did it. Really helped with my depression. And I just slept like a baby last night because I felt like really good about what I did. That I actually did something that was worthwhile doing. Anyway. So yeah. But I have to give credit to the people there because they could have kicked me out pretty fast and been pretty mean, and they weren't. And that's great. I mean, I think they really wanted me to be one of them or to become one of them. And I understand that, but, cause I'm pretty cool. No, but, I think that's what struck me the most is that there was an actual desperation in really almost everyone's face when I was speaking to them, about the need to, almost have me accept them. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying me, Lolo. I'm saying the Democrat. They wanted the Democrat to tell them how nice they have been to me. And it was like they cared in that moment about their image a little bit. And that was interesting human thing to me. Like I look at all the human things about this. Like I'm not going to convince anyone of their policy decisions or any of that. They believe that those policies actually are good, so I can't. Even women dying in a parking lot is not going to convince them that their worldview isn't. Now, I hope that's not true. I hope that people evolve and they change and they see. Please tell me I'm not one of the awful MAGA. Yeah, Kathy, that's the vibe. The vibe was very much, see, we're not so bad. See, changing your mind, commie. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got major stink eye from some people. And the one guy with the orange sign that said God chose Trump or something like that. Oh, he was mad at me. He wanted to rip my sign down so bad. He was just agitated. But he went away. And then when I said God isn't real, the woman next to me who like was mad about the comment about marrying a woman. She was like, "Oh no, don't say that." I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's what I believe." So yeah. Anyway, that was good. It was a great event. I think it was a huge mistake of that woman to invite me on stage. I think she thought that I wasn't going to be able to talk my way through it. But the problem is I've spent my entire life talking on stages and talking my way through shit in big meetings and stuff like that. That was my entire job, has been interacting with audiences and so it's like I'm used to I'm not used to that. And I can Blarney Stone my way through a fucking stage appearance. Let me tell you, I can fucking fill that time. No problem. I did try to take her mic, which is stupid. Don't ever try and take an interviewer's mic. I did try to and she's like, I'm like, oh, sorry. Sorry. Anyway, badger. So yeah, it was a good day for democracy, I think. It kind of, it gave him something to think about. Remember that girl with the dinosaur costume? And then this amazing young woman, I was walking down the hill in my dinosaur costume because I wanted to. And I dropped one of my signs because I had 3 of them. And she came and gave me my sign. And I was so really grateful. It was the sweetest gesture. A lot of effort. So anyway, to whoever that young lady was, I really appreciate you. I hope people took my business cards. Are any of you watching from yesterday? Please come into chat and let me know. Certified badass. Yeah, the dino is a badass. I love that dino. Let me tell you how much I love that fucking dino. I feel such a spirit with that dinosaur suit. I can't even tell you. I don't think I'll ever get rid of the first dinosaur suit. I'll probably get a new one because that one's getting pretty bad. There's probably not enough Febreze left to really make that suit work. But it's okay. It's working. But it is a champion. It's a champion suit. I really like it. Anyway. Sorry, I say anyway a lot. I don't mean to. Well, clearly I do. But anyway. Okay. So what happened in the news yesterday? God. What I miss? No. Yeah. Again, as I open the show, I can't expound on who he was, why he did it, where, what, when, who. I think there's so much complexity that I'd rather wait until we settle out all the research into his background and or whatever, the bulk of looking. So the gathering of information, I think, is very important because it helps us understand, stochastic terrorism, frankly. So I think it's important to understand the sources of stochastic terrorism and where it's come from and how we handle it. Told my son J-Herb to watch you. Had the biggest balls of them all. And then you were on the stage. I know, that was so weird. Like, that's a huge mistake. Don't do that. Don't think you're gonna just it's just not. I'm a comedian. Like I want to be a comedian, so I will find a way to try and be funny, even if I'm not funny. So I don't know. It was incredible. I felt very lucky. Yeah. In your head, zombie. Dino, oh, she's in your head. In your head, Dino. Yeah, I love my Dino. She's the best. Democracy Dino for the win. So yeah, yesterday, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think that he is definitely a target, it looks like, since there's been 2. Wait, where was this? I missed this. What stage? Oh my God, you missed it? SB, it's so fun. I went to the California GOP town hall, and Oh, hold on. And I was able to sit in the outer lobby of the town hall with all these people who were attending the town hall, and then I had a Trump sucks sign and a Agenda 47 equals or is Project 2025. And then I had a sign that says TPSA equals groomers because Charlie Kirk was going to speak. Hi, Teresa. And then I ended up like talking to a bunch of people in this lobby, even though I had like all kinds of signage and stuff that let them know that I wasn't one of them. And it was a fascinating experience. It was really fascinating. So I don't know. It was, it felt really good. It felt really good. So yeah. Let's see. Doodar. Oh wait, is there any I know, it was pretty cool. This is one stream that I could honestly say I would watch it. It's an hour, it's not very long. And I don't know, I thought it had some pretty good interactions. Probably bad camera work, but good interactions. So I would definitely, if you're going to watch one of my videos, that might be the one. I'm pretty proud of that one. I'm pretty proud of that experience. I think it worked. I think it really worked. I do have giant gonads, yes. Or poor judgment. One or the other. Gonads or judgment. Lack of judgment. Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, that's one I would recommend. Some of them, you'd have to speed through to get to the jokes. But this one I thought was interesting, and it was kind of fun. Got to hear a lot of MAGAs who want to be friends. Let's be friends. Why can't we be friends? 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 That's really the theme. That should be the theme song of that video. Why can't we be friends? And Firecracker, the woman who was the radio, actually, I want to kind of look her up. Because Firecracker. Shoot. She gave me her. Oops. No, it's not gonna. I'll have to find her. She wrote down on a piece of paper like all of her stuff, and then she's like, "Do you want my cell number?" And I'm like, "Sure, of course I do. Of course I want your cell number. Why wouldn't I? You want mine?" And so she gave me her cell phone number. I think I'm gonna call her. And maybe interview her. I don't know. But it was a love bombing. She's a real love bomber. She's like, "You're great. You're beautiful. You're this. You're that." And I'm like, "Well, am I?" No. But she's very kind. She was a very kind woman. So, yeah, I would talk to her again. The thing is I don't mind talking to people. I won't lie to them that I agree with what they're thinking. I told everybody I don't agree with you. So no, I probably won't learn or vote in the way that you want me to. And clearly I know more about Agenda 47 than your voters do. So I don't know. That gives me pause. But yeah, I don't mind talking. Actually, I learned something. I learn from, I want to know why people actually hold that worldview. You know what I mean? I want to know why that worldview exists. That's what I want to know. You can't even have a conversation with someone who lives in it. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. It worked out. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. And I would do it again. And probably in the same way, honestly about who I am and what my views are. But just, there to, I want to hear what they're saying, and I'll challenge when I need to. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. But I understand people. I understand your point, Max. Why do they have that worldview? Some trauma made them vulnerable to joining the cult. Absolutely. Absolutely. There was the guy with the God. No. I don't think any views were changed. No. I don't think so. And, I didn't necessarily engage. There was one guy I engaged with that said, I engaged that one guy who had the God chose Trump sign, because I'm like, he's like, what are you voting? I don't know what he said exactly, but it was something like, well, what is the Democrats doing? She hasn't done anything. They're all about her, by the way. Okay? It's not about Democrats anymore. It's about Kamala. Kamala is one woman called her. So it's all about her. Their ire is pointed at her. Period. Why do you want to vote for her? So, wait, there was another one. So he was like, so I said, do you take, I first of all, I made a little mistake, and I said, do you take insulin? And then I said, never mind. No, not that. I said, do you know that people on Medicare can now get insulin at a cap of $35 a month? Joe Biden did that. Did you know that, and he's like, I don't take insulin. And I'm like, okay, now we make chips in this country through the CHIPS Act. Are you familiar with that? No. What about infrastructure? Yeah, nothing's being built. I'm like, really? Really? I think you should, Edward. I think you should. Perfect your Donald. Mispronouncing Donald. I think you shouldn't vote for Donald. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it too, Ed. Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Hannibal Lecter. Or that's funny. Romans 13:1, Max reminds us. They're not reasonable. I know. Again, and they even asked me, are you trying to convert people? I'm like, no. I am here to be a little sticker that's stuck to your butt. No. I'm observing, and I'm reminding people that there are other views in the world. And that, maybe you should think about that. I don't know. No, I didn't fix it yesterday. That's unfortunate, but we did capture a little bit of it, and we got to make and you know what? I kind of owned at least their pre-event, not their post-event. Their big event was coming. This was not their big event at all. So it was a very small stage. It was a riser. Okay. It wasn't even a stage. It was a riser. Ooh, I should put little stickers in the ladies' room. That is brilliant, Carla. I should bring stickies with messages on them. That's a good point. Well, I also believe, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I also believe if you continue to put out there and an alternate view, I believe over time, and the more people that do that, there will be some minds who are moved. I know that's naive. That's the part of the naivete my father gave me. Because he was like, I believe people are basically good. And I used to argue with him about that, but whatever. Hannibal Lecter. Donald. I like that one, Teresa. Why join? Secret knowledge, belonging, knowing that you are superior to others. Yeah. Being told that they are the real patriots. Yeah. Yeah. Use the Socratic method and you can stay together, stay longer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to really think about that, right? I actually didn't expect to be able to stay in the lobby as long as I did. I really didn't. At any moment I thought someone's going to come up and say, "You can't be here." Okay? Like I thought the guy was going to bring the people back from the hotel, you know? Like he was going to bring the people from the hotel to come over and say, "Get the fuck out of here with your stupid signs." But he didn't. They didn't. So the hotel, good job. Hilton, Universal City, Hilton, good job. You didn't kick me out. You didn't even bother me once. I appreciate you. Everybody, stay at the Hilton in Universal City on your next trip to Los Angeles. No. Now, they did host the event. Wait a minute. Never mind. But it is the California GOP, so it's not like, the Proud Boys. Well, it is, but they don't know that. And then I met a couple of assembly. Well, I met one, I think. I don't think I met the other guy. But there was a woman who was running for assembly person in, I don't know what district. I don't think it was mine because I don't recognize her name. But she was there. She was very nice. She's a great politician, by the way. She was perfect. She was so ebullient. What is that word? When they're like, well, I don't know. I don't know. She was just very like overly friendly. And she didn't miss a beat when I said, I'm probably not going to vote for you because we don't agree. She's like, you don't have to vote. You don't have to be a Republican to vote for me or something like that. And I'm like, but thank you. And then I had to give the CD back for the woman that came up and gave me her single. What was it? Oh, fuck, man. What was the song? Shit. Why didn't I take a pic? Oh, it's probably on my thing. At least one person will look at Agenda 47 because of your sign. Maybe more. Well, you know what, Oren? I didn't even think of that. That's possible. I do like that sign because it's not offensive to anyone and it makes them ask a question. Now, granted, the person who really asked me a question about it was telling me that that's not true and I'm stupid. But she also admitted that she hadn't read Agenda 47. So, media literacy. Yeah, anyway. It was a good day. What is it, Ice Cube that says it was a good day? What's that song? Ice Cubes. I don't know. It was a good day. So, yeah. I don't know. There's another event. No, it's not a GOP event. Oh my God, you guys. September 26th. Guess who's coming to town? It ain't Santa Claus. You want to know who it is? It's better than Santa Claus. Doug Frank. Oh yeah. And you know what? I'm getting a ticket to this event. And I'm going to that event. I'm doing it. And I can't wait for the fucking Q&A. All right? I can't fucking wait. Now that one, I could get thrown out of. But that's September 26th. So I have to figure out, I got to get my ticket. I got to work on all that. But it's Doug Frank, who, if you know me, you know I hate Doug Frank with probably almost every fiber of my being. Yes, he's coming back to California. Yes, indeed. Let me see if I kept a picture of what he's going to do. I need to bring that up anyway. I think I downloaded. Oh shit! Downloaded the flyer. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe it's in my phone. Perhaps it's in my phone. Oh, wow. Oh, I think my... Okay, anyway, I'll find it. Yeah, September 26th. Woo, Doug Frank. Oh, Doug Frank is my nemesis. He doesn't know that, but he's my nemesis. So let me, I'm going to find that because it's right here. It's somewhere. Just bear with me for just a second. Please. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Where do you get media? Can you just see the media? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, it's coming up today, someday. La, 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 la. God dang it. Too much. Okay, it's coming. Wait. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh. Oh, here it is. Yes. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Don't leave me, darling. Don't leave me, darling. Do, 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 do. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you this. Oh, gal. Start over. I might. As a devout atheist raised in the evangelical black, my nemesis is Stephen Miller. Yes, see, we all have our favorite person to hate. Max, yeah, that's applicable to the info Lolo was putting out there in the event seeds. Yeah, well, and you know what? I don't know. I don't expect to influence anyone. I really don't. I don't know. Why not? I mean, go there and just say, hey, guess what? You can't do this like unchecked or something. All right, let me... Oops. Is that... No, that's not it. That's my picture of Kimberly Guilfoyle and Trump. I don't want that. Where's my other... Oh, I opened the wrong photo. Dang it. There we go. All right. Let me show you this. This is the event that Dino will next... Well, actually, it's not going to be Dino. It's probably just going to be Lolo, to be honest with you. But this is the event. I'll make it bigger. Don't worry. Yeah, not that big. Oops, not that small. Okay, well, great. Thank you, Microsoft. You're weird. Okay, so this is Doug Frank, my nemesis. Oops, god damn it. What are you doing? Sorry, everybody. My fucking computer. Okay. I do have a picture of Trump and Gargoyle. It's true. All right, so this is a Nobel Prize nominee. I doubt it. World renowned? No. He's a math teacher from like Ohio or somewhere. And he got a B up his ass about COVID. He used to do bullshit algorithm charts about COVID and trying to prove that I don't know what his thesis was. It wasn't real. It was real. I don't know. He was a COVID denier, anti-vax. And so he started with that. But then he turned his attention to the election. Now, I don't know if somebody put him up to it or if it was just his own little, tickle that he had to itch. But he did it. And now he joined up in April of 2021. Well, actually, before then, but he first appeared with Mike Lindell as part of his movie Absolute Proof, or Absolute Bullshit is what I called it. But anyway, Absolute Proof. And he was the scientist who showed that the machines were using the 2010 census names to fill in for more votes for Biden. And that's how they rigged the election. So he was showing how the machines, he didn't actually though. He just said that there's a pool of voters that they can take from to vote to bring in extra votes for Biden. That's literally what his premise is. That's literally what his premise is. He played it beautifully. So now, since that time, since that movie, first on Lindell's dime, now I don't think he's on Lindell's dime, but anyway, he flies around the country and speaks at like VFWs and Grange halls and all kinds of shit anywhere, Denny's. And I'm not kidding. He did a Denny's thing here in here in Orange County, down south. And he talks about his research about algorithms and census names and how that was what was used by the evil Democrats to pad the votes for Joe Biden. Now, he can't actually point to how that or where. He's just saying it did. And it happened everywhere. That's what he says. He spoke at your red line. Oh, my God, Kathy. That's it. That's perfect. That's the perfect place for him. So, and in addition to that, he has met with, as we saw in the Tina Peters case, this is the douchebag that was brought in to get Tina Peters to give them a copy of her machines. He worked on behalf of Lindell et al. To get copies of election machines across the country. He tried with counties across the country. He met with a couple of secretaries of state to tell them how fucked up their voting system was. This man has actually done damage. Okay? The bow tie guy, exactly. So he has, in my mind, his felony is that he is defrauding the United States of America by convincing people that their vote doesn't count. He's disenfranchising voters. So I think there's a crime in there somewhere, and I'm not going to let go until at least he's exposed for who he is. Because this is evil. He's evil. Well, and he's about to meet Lolo. I'm serious. I'm not, I just don't. Oh, yeah, I want to go. Okay, well, I have to go down here. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me make this big. All right, so it says it's time for meaningful. This is Jessica Martinez for Assembly. She wasn't there yesterday. Maybe she was. I don't know. Yes, Dollar General. Yes, Dollar General. Time for meaningful election reform. Our democracy thrives when every voice is heard and every vote counts. Let's advocate for fair voting practices, transparent processes, and accessible polling places for all citizens. Doesn't that sound lovely? Well, it just sounds so good. Who could argue against that? Together, we can ensure that our elections truly reflect the will of the people. Oh, they haven't? Tell me more. Join the conversation, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is, does your vote count? Follow the data with Dr. Douglas Frank. Oh, I will. Who else is there? Urson Russell, president of what? What the fuck? Hold on. President of Patriot Force? What the fuck is that? And Jessica Martinez is the event sponsor. Oh, well, Jessica's not going to like me either, but that's okay. Yeah, Dollar General Tucker. I want to look at this spot. Why can't I? Why won't it? I don't want to look at them anymore. Look at where's her boob? Okay. It must be the hair. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Get off. I don't want you anymore. Okay. I'll read it because I can't get to it. Okay. Oh, wait. Since December 2020, Dr. Frank has been relentlessly pursuing election reform with grassroots teams in 48 states. Achieving these milestones met with dozens of secretaries of state, attorney generals. That's what he wrote. Attorney generals. No, I'm not kidding. Can we stop for a minute? Attorney generals. Ugh. It's attorneys general. Met with dozens of secretaries of state, attorney generals, legislators, and hundreds of local election officials. He's a one-man destruction disinformation force. Testified formally in several legal and legislative proceedings. Yeah, I know. It's attorneys general. He's a fucking idiot. Oh, but he's a PhD. Featured in 2 of Mike Lindell's 2021 documentaries. Oh, scientific proof? No, it was absolute proof, you idiot. You don't even know the name of the fucking movie. And absolute interference. Oh, my God. Yeah, I have a high school diploma. Dr. Dumbass. PhD in surface electroanalytical chemistry. What? 60 peer-reviewed scientific publications. I'd like to see them. Cover and feature articles in leading scientific journals such as Cut Off by Jessica's Thing. Anyway, so this is September 26, 2024. City of Industry. I think I do know. I think I can get there. It's a little far, but that's fine. Light refreshments, 5:30 to 8:30. I'm going to go. And I'm going to have very specific questions. Yes, the illiterati strike again. Yeah. I'm going to go. I'm going to meet the man. The man, the legend. The man and the legend. So, I'm going to meet him. But yeah, this is one that's going to be tough for me because I'm pretty angry. So I'm not going to be angry, obviously. I'll pull my shit together. Because I'd like to have some discourse time. And I when I say discourse time, I mean like maybe they'll give me 5 minutes. I just don't want to be cut off if I'm asking questions. Morning all. Hey, Paul J. You're the third time. I know. I'm sick of him and his weirdos too. It's all right. Paul J, I understand. It's too much. Yesterday it just got to be too much. Gal, you had sent me a tweet. Yeah, Gal does. So Gal had, is pretty famous for like the daily threads where she runs down like one aspect, and it's really good. That is what drew me to Gal in the first place, is that she really just synthesized the information in ways that I can, and it was just facts. It wasn't like I don't know. There wasn't a lot of noise. And I appreciate that about Gal. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh! Okay, hold on. I am very happy about this. Oops, that's the wrong one. Not that. Although I'm happy to go. This. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love it. Democracy Daily. Ah, I'm so excited. Oh, whoops. I didn't want to do that. I am so excited. That's so exciting. That is so exciting, gal. I love it. Democracy Daily. Stay informed. Your daily dose of pro-democracy news for action and insight. That's brilliant. Here we go. 49 days to vote. Vote.org. Vote.gov. Vote.org. Do them all. Okay, so here, her mother recalled her daughter's last words before she was wheeled into surgery. They had made no sense coming from a vibrant young woman who seemed to have her whole life ahead of her. Promise me you'll take care of my son. Rovember 2024. Amber Thurman, a 28-year-old mother, died after she couldn't access legal abortion care in Georgia. The state's Maternal Mortality Review Committee found that her death was preventable and said a delay in care had a large impact. This is a ProPublica story. At least 2 women in Georgia died after they couldn't access legal abortions and timely medical care in their state. ProPublica has found. This is one of their stories. Amber Nicole Thurman, September 16th, 1993 to August 19th, 2022. Abortion bans have delayed emergency medical care in Georgia. Experts say this mother's death was preventable. Let's read. Can you see it? Yeah. In her final hours, Amber Nicole Thurman suffered from a grave infection that her suburban Atlanta hospital was well equipped to treat. She'd taken abortion pills and encountered a rare complication. She had not expelled all of the fetal tissue from her body. She showed up at Piedmont Henry Hospital in need of a routine procedure to clear it from her uterus called a dilation and curettage, or D&C. But just that summer, her state had made performing the procedure a felony, with few exceptions. Any doctor who violated the new Georgia law could be prosecuted and face up to a decade in prison. Let's see the comments here. Check in on you guys. Today's her birthday. Thurman waited in pain in a hospital bed, worried about what would happen to her 6-year-old son as doctors monitored her infection spreading, her blood pressure sinking, and her organs beginning to fail. It took 20 hours for her doctors to finally operate. By then, it was too late. The otherwise healthy 28-year-old medical assistant who had her sights set on nursing school should not have died, an official state committee recently concluded. Tasked with examining pregnancy-related deaths to improve maternal health, the experts, including 10 doctors, deemed hers preventable and said that the hospital's delay in performing the critical procedure had a large impact on her fatal outcome. Their reviews of individual patient cases are not made public, but ProPublica obtained reports that confirmed that at least 2 women have already died after they couldn't access legal abortions and timely medical care in their state. There are almost certainly others. Committees like the one in Georgia, set up in each state, often operate with a 2-year lag behind the cases they examine, meaning that experts are only now beginning to delve into the deaths that took place after the Supreme Court overturned the federal right to abortion. Thurman's case marks the first time an abortion-related death, officially deemed preventable, is coming to public light. ProPublica will share the story of the second in the coming days. We are also exploring other deaths that have not yet been reviewed but appear to be connected to abortion bans. Doctors warned state legislators women would die if medical procedures sometimes needed to save lives became illegal. Though Republican lawmakers who voted for state bans on abortion say the laws have exceptions to protect the life of the mother, medical experts caution that the language is not rooted in science and ignores the fast-moving realities of medicine. The most restrictive state laws, experts predicted, would pit would pit doctors' fears of prosecution against their patients' health needs, requiring providers to make sure that their patient was inarguably on the brink of death or facing irreversible harm when they intervened with procedures like DNC. They would feel the need to wait for a higher blood pressure, wait for a higher fever, really got to justify this one, bleed a little bit more. Dr. Melissa Kotke, an OBGYN at Emory, warned lawmakers in 2019 during one of the hearings over Georgia's ban. Doctors and a nurse involved in Thurman's care declined to explain their thinking and did not respond to questions from ProPublica. Communications staff from the hospital did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Georgia's Department of Public Health, which oversees the state maternal mortality review committee, said it cannot comment on ProPublica's reporting because the committee's cases are confidential and protected by federal law. The availability of DNCs for both abortions and routine miscarriage care helped save lives after the 1973 Supreme Court ruling in Roe v. Wade, studies show, reducing the rate of maternal deaths for women of color by up to 40% the first year after abortion became legal. But since abortion was banned or restricted in 22 states over the past 2 years, women in serious danger have been turned away from emergency rooms and told that they needed to be in more peril before doctors could help. Some have been forced to continue high-risk pregnancies that threaten their lives. Those whose pregnancies weren't even viable have been told they could return when they were crashing. Such stories have been at the center of the upcoming presidential election, during which the right to abortion is on the ballot in 10 states. But Republican legislators have rejected small efforts to expand and clarify health exceptions, even in Georgia, which has one of the nation's highest rates of maternal mortality and where black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women. When its law went into effect in July 22, Governor Kemp said he was overjoyed and believed the state had found an approach that would keep women safe, healthy, and informed. I hope they start soon, Grace. But nothing is going to bring that mom back. After advocates tried to block the ban in court, arguing the law put women in danger, attorneys for the state of Georgia accused them of hyperbolic fear-mongering. 2 weeks later, Thurman was dead. And there she is, with her 6-year-old. 28. 28. What are we doing? Thurman, who carried the full load of a single parent, oh man, I might lose it on this one, loved being a mother. Every chance she got, she took her son to petting zoos, to pop-up museums, and on planned trips, like one to the Florida beach. The talks I have with my son are everything, she posted on social media. Oh, my heart's breaking right now. But when she learned she was pregnant with twins in the summer of 2022, she quickly decided she needed to preserve her newfound stability. Her best friend, Ricaria Baker, told ProPublica, Thurman and her son had recently moved out of her family's home and into a gated apartment complex with a pool, and she was planning to enroll in nursing school. The timing could not have been worse. On July 20th, the day Georgia's law banning abortion at 6 weeks went into effect, her pregnancy had just passed that mark, according to records her family shared with ProPublica. Thurman wanted a surgical abortion close to home and held out hope as advocates tried to get the ban paused in court, Baker said, but as her pregnancy progressed to its 9th week, she couldn't wait any longer. She scheduled a DNC in North Carolina, where abortion at that stage was still legal, and on August 13th, woke up at 4 a.m. to make the journey with her best friend. On the drive, they hit standstill traffic, Baker said. The clinic couldn't hold Thurman's spot longer than 15 minutes. It was inundated with women from other states where bans had taken effect. Instead, a clinic employee offered Thurman a 2-pill abortion regimen approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, mifepristone and misoprostol. Her pregnancy was well within the standard of care for that treatment. Getting to the clinic had required scheduling a day off work, finding a babysitter, making up an excuse to borrow a relative's car, and walking through a crowd of anti-abortion protesters. Thurman didn't want to reschedule, Baker said. At the clinic, Thurman sat through a counseling session in which she was told how to safely take the pills and instructed to go to the emergency room if complications developed. She signed a release saying she understood. She took the first pill there and insisted on driving home before any symptoms started, Baker said. She took the second pill the next day, as directed. Deaths due to complications from abortion pills are extremely rare. Out of nearly 6 million women who've taken mifepristone in the U.S. since 2000, 32 deaths were reported to the FDA through 2022. Regardless of whether the drug played a role, of those, 11 patients developed sepsis. Most of the remaining cases involved intentional and accidental drug overdose, suicide, homicide, and ruptured ectopic pregnancies. Baker and Thurman spoke every day that week. At first, there was only cramping, which Thurman expected. But after days after she took the second pill, the pain increased and the blood was soaking through more than one pad per hour. If she had lived nearby, the clinic in North Carolina would have performed a DNC for free as soon as she followed up, the executive director told ProPublica. But Thurman was 4 hours away. Oh. On the evening of August 18th, Thurman vomited blood and passed out at home, according to a 911 call log. Her boyfriend called for an ambulance. Thurman arrived at Piedmont Henry Hospital in Stockbridge at 6:51 p.m. ProPublica obtained the summary narrative of Thurman's hospital stay and provided to the Maternal Mortality Review Committee, as well as the group's findings. The narrative is based on Thurman's medical records with identifying information removed. The committee does not interview doctors involved with the case or ask hospitals to respond to its findings. ProPublica also consulted with medical experts, including members of the committee, about the timeline of events. Within Thurman's first hours at the hospital, which says it is staffed at all hours with an OB who specializes in obstetrician, who specializes in hospital care, it should have been clear that she was in danger, medical experts told ProPublica. Her lower abdomen was tender, according to the summary. Her white blood cell count was critically high, and her blood pressure perilously low. At one point, as Thurman got up to go to the bathroom, she fainted again and hit her head. Doctors noted a foul odor during a pelvic exam, and an ultrasound showed possible tissue in her uterus. The standard treatment of sepsis is to start antibiotics and immediately seek and remove the source of the infection. For a septic abortion, that would include removing any remaining tissue from the uterus. One of the hospital network's own practices describes a DNC as a fairly common minor surgical procedure to be used after a miscarriage to remove fetal tissue. After assessing her at 9:38 p.m., doctors started Thurman on antibiotics and an IV drip, the summary said. The OBGYN noted the possibility of doing a DNC the next day. But that didn't happen the following morning, even when the OB diagnosed acute severe sepsis. By 5:14 a.m., Thurman was breathing rapidly and at risk of bleeding out, according to her vital signs. Even 5 liters of IV fluid had not moved her blood pressure out of the danger zone. Doctors escalated the antibiotics. Instead of performing the newly criminalized procedure, they continued to gather information and dispense medicine, the summary shows. Doctors had Thurman tested for sexually transmitted diseases and pneumonia. At 6:45 a.m., Thurman's blood pressure continued to dip and she was taken into the intensive care unit. At 7:14 a.m., doctors discussed initiating a DNC, but it still didn't happen. 2 hours later, lab work indicated her organs were failing, according to experts who read her vital signs. At 12:05 p.m., more than 17 hours after Thurman had arrived, a doctor who specializes in intensive care notified the OBGYN that her condition was deteriorating. Thurman was finally taken to an operating room at 2 p.m. By then, the situation was so dire that doctors started with open abdominal surgery. They found that her bowel needed to be removed, but it was too risky to operate because not enough blood was flowing to the area, a possible complication from the blood pressure medication an expert explained to ProPublica. The OB performed the DNC but immediately continued with a hysterectomy. During surgery, Thurman's heart stopped. Her mother was praying in the waiting room when one of the doctors approached. "Come walk with me," she said. Until she got the call from the hospital, her mother had no idea Thurman had been pregnant. She recalled her daughter's last words before she was wheeled into surgery. They had made no sense coming from a vibrant young woman who seemed to have her whole life ahead of her. Promise me you'll take care of my son. Oh. There's a good chance providing a DNC earlier could have prevented Amber Thurman's death, the Maternal Mortality Review Committee concluded. Every state has a committee of experts who meet regularly to examine the deaths that occurred during or within a year after a pregnancy. Their goal is to collect accurate data and identify the root causes of America's increasing maternal mortality rate. Then translate those lessons into policy changes. The Centers for their findings and recommendations are sent to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and their states publish an annual report, but their reviews of individual cases are never public. I wonder, Badger. Georgia's committee has 32 regular members from a variety of backgrounds, including OBGYNs, cardiologists, mental health care providers, a medical examiner, health policy experts, community advocates, and others. This summer, the committee reviewed deaths through fall of 2022, but most states have not gotten that far. After reviewing Thurman's case, the committee highlighted Piedmont's lack of policies and procedures in place to evacuate uterus immediately and recommended all hospitals implement policies to treat a septic abortion on an ongoing basis. It's not clear from the records available why doctors waited to provide a DNC to Thurman, although the summary report shows they discussed the procedure at least twice in the hours before they finally did. Piedmont did not have a policy to guide doctors on how to interpret the state abortion ban when Thurman arrived for care, according to two people with knowledge of internal conversations who were not authorized to speak publicly. In the months after she died, an internal task force of providers created policies to educate staff on how to navigate the law, though they are not able to give legal advice, the sources said. In interviews with more than 36 OBGYNs in states that outlawed abortions, ProPublica learned how difficult it is to interpret the vague and conflicting language in bans, medical exceptions, especially, the doctors said, when their judgment could be called into question under threat of prison time. Take the language in Georgia's supposed life-saving exceptions. It prohibits doctors from using any instrument, quote, with the purpose of terminating a pregnancy. While removing the fetal tissue is not terminating a pregnancy, medically speaking, the law only specifies it's not considered an abortion to remove a dead unborn child, that was in quotes, that resulted from, quote, a spontaneous abortion, defined as, quote, naturally occurring from a miscarriage or a stillbirth. Thurman had told doctors her miscarriage was not spontaneous. It was the result of taking pills to terminate her pregnancy. There is also an exception included in most bans to allow abortions necessary in order to prevent the death of the pregnant woman or the substantial and irreversible physical impairment of a major bodily function. There is no standard protocol for how providers should interpret such language, doctors said. How can they be sure a jury with no medical experience would agree that intervening was necessary? ProPublica asked the governor's office on Friday to respond to cases of denied care, including the 2 abortion-related deaths, and whether its exceptions were adequate. Spokesperson Garrison Douglas said they were clear and gave doctors the power to act in medical emergencies. He returned to the state's previous argument, describing ProPublica's reporting as a fear-mongering campaign. Ugh, how do you sleep at night? That's what I wonder. I wonder about these people. How do you sleep at night? Republican officials across the country have largely rejected calls to provide guidance. When legislators have tried, anti-abortion groups have blocked them. In 2023, a group of Tennessee Republicans was unable to push through a small change to the state's abortion ban, intended to give doctors greater leeway when intervening for patients facing health complications. No one wants to tell their spouse, child, or loved one that their life is not important in a medical emergency as you watch them die when they could have been saved, said Republican Rep. Esther Helton Haynes, a nurse who sponsored the bill. The state's main anti-abortion lobbyist, Will Brewer, a dude, I want to see him push a baby out through his pee-pee hole, vigorously opposed the change. Some pregnancy complications work themselves out, he said. He told a panel of lawmakers. I'm going to read that again. Some pregnancy complications work themselves out. Doctors should be required to, quote, pause and wait this out and see how it goes. Well, I think I want to be Will Brewer's new best friend. At some hospitals, doctors are doing just that. Doctors told ProPublica they have seen colleagues disregard the standard of care when their patients are at risk of infection and wait to see if a miscarriage completes naturally before offering a DNC. Although no doctor has been prosecuted for violating abortion laws, the possibility looms over every case, they said, particularly outside of well-funded academic institutions that have lawyers promising criminal defense. And doctors in public hospitals and those outside of major metro areas told ProPublica that they are often left scrambling to figure out on a case-by-case basis when they are allowed to provide DNCs and other abortion procedures. Many fear they are taking on all of the risk alone and would not be backed up by their hospitals if a prosecutor charged them with a crime. Well, then isn't that the conversation? Jesus. At Catholic hospitals, they typically have to transfer patients elsewhere for care, which has always been the case, really. When they do try to provide care, it can be a challenge to find other medical staff to participate. A DNC requires an anesthesiologist, nurses, attending physicians, and others. Doctors said peers have refused to participate because of their personal views or their fear of being exposed to criminal charges. Yeah, right. Georgia law allows medical staff to refuse to participate in abortions. Thurman's family members may never learn the exact variables that went into doctors' calculations. The hospital has not fulfilled their request for her full medical record. There was no autopsy. For years, all Thurman's family had was a death certificate said she died of septic shock and retained products of conception, a rare description that had previously only appeared once in Georgia death records over the last 15 years, ProPublica found. The family learned Thurman's case had been reviewed and deemed preventable from ProPublica's reporting. The sting of Thurman's death remains extremely raw to her loved ones, who feel her absence most deeply as they watch her son grow taller and lose teeth and start school years later without her. They focus on surrounding him with love, but know nothing can replace his mother. Today, she would have turned 31. I know. It really pisses me off, too. You know, and I understand that everybody's brain works differently, right? I particularly am shocked that we're in a post-Roe state, a post-Roe phase. And I just can't believe that really anyone, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. I can't believe that really anyone would think that denying abortion care to women is evil. That the actual denial, that's okay. It's all right. No, you know what, gal? I actually really appreciate the chance to read the story on air. Because one of the key issues for me right now is the fact that Roe is gone and those protections are gone. And it said 22 states have restrictions on abortion. And the gall of people who say, oh, they can just go to another state. Oh, it's a shame. The gall is just so... So that's what, it makes me more ready in this election. As Grace said, we cannot go back. I've tried two prior times to say 45 is to blame. Well, you're right. And it's not just 45, okay? It's the people around him. Those stats include Jason Miller. Hey, Max, I think he got off of that charge. I think he got off of that charge. I do. I think that was I don't know what it was, but weird. Criminal negligence. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. God. We gotta fix this. And I get that, I mean, the thing about it is everyone's like, well, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen, Biden, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with the woman who says she's going to restore abortion access. I'm going to go with her because I actually believe that she will take steps to do it. And I will, and we will have to be vigilant and get in the street. If you know what I mean? Like, nobody is going to come in and fix this for us 100%. I'm sorry. It is weird that when women support this MAGA stuff, it just boggles my fucking mind. I'm sorry. I can't wrap my head around I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. It's just so weird. So I'm delighted to have read it because I think it's such an important story and I want her story told. And I want her memory. I hate the death in vain thing because I just don't believe anyone should die for anything like that, frankly. But, I come back when you're crashing. God, never heard of anything like that. I mean, I'm not a fan of doctors, let me tell you. I am not. But I don't know. It just seems ridiculous. And I'm very curious. They always bring up that we're afraid of being prosecuted. We're afraid of being prosecuted. No one has been prosecuted. So no, I'm going to call bullshit on that. And if you're an emergency room physician or an OBGYN and you haven't sought out clarification of your policy with your hospital or your practice, that's on you. So doctors, get the fuck over to your administration offices and figure out what your fucking policy is. Because if that's getting in the way, there's an easy fix for that. How disgusting. That part actually got me the most. You don't have clarification on your policies, and that could come in between you delivering care to your patients? What the fuck are you waiting for? That's your whole job. You're an OBGYN or an emergency room physician or an emergency surgeon or whatever, and your state passes a ban on abortion care with penalties for medical providers, and the first thing, and you don't bother to clarify and demand clarification from your management about how to implement that? Are you kidding me? That can't possibly be the excuse. That can't possibly be the excuse. How dare you? So, a happy birthday to Ms. Thurman and her beautiful boy. Can't imagine the fire department showing up and demanding information about how the fire started before they put it out. Oren, that's such a good, analogy. Or that they don't know how to put out a fire, so they stand around and wait. No, I'm not assuming that doctors are completely robots in this. I'm sure that, in the summary that was read, there's a lot of action and conversation, but nothing at no point in that summary did I hear kind of hey, why are we waiting? Like that kind of thing. So I don't know. That to me, there's always a lot of information in these situations, but it's pretty clear that this young woman died unnecessarily. And their own stupid medical oversight board agreed. So if you're worried about legal ramifications for your decision, Guess what, Piedmont Hospital or whatever the name of that hospital was. I have a feeling you're in for a real world of hurt. So you going to jail for 10 days probably isn't anything compared to the lawsuits that are going to come your way. Because if this story is saying, oh, well, the state would have allowed it, right? And the hospital made the decision not to do it? Oh, man. There's all kinds of questions I would have about this if I were the family. And nothing will bring her back. None of that. And she didn't have to die. So, not like this group needed a lot of inspiration to vote for access to health care. But it's a key reason to vote this year. That's for sure. So, yeah. Gosh, I'm actually really grateful that you shared that. I know it's a really tough story. But I really think it's an important story and something to remind ourselves of, the human cost of this election. The human cost of this election is really high. And it doesn't, Democrats don't prevent all deaths, okay? I'm not trying to be a monolith here. But I'm trying to say there is a definite, of the choices we have right now, there's a definite choice. I mean, there's only one choice. Yeah. So I know it's a hard story. I appreciate that. I just think her story deserves to be told. So, yeah. Not like we needed more inspiration to vote. Like lives depend on it. Lives depend on it. I mean, it's not just a convenient set of words. Actual lives on the line. And I'm not going to have an abortion anymore. I've already went through menopause. I'm already done. I'm done. So it's not about me. It's about my daughter. It's about her, about Miss Thurman. Rovember. I'm sorry. That you want to be a single issue voter? There's your single issue. Maternal mortality rate is already exceptionally high among Black women. They really didn't need to make it worse. Thank you, Oren. Thank you. That's exactly right. Unnecessary. And the suffering. You know, there's I don't even know how many women have been subjected to suffering because of lack of access to adequate health care. That's the goal of the Daily Dose. Gal, I'm so delighted you're doing this. I got to go back to that. So this is, make sure you find the Daily Dose. Oh gosh, look at this. And this is Gal's going through all the head. Okay. I love you. Covert influence activities are not journalism. State Department. Okay. Department of State. Kremlin-backed media outlets like RT are engaged in covert influence activities aimed at undermining elections and democracies worldwide, functioning like a de facto arm of Russia's intelligence apparatus. I want to read that. I'm just going to go through your things and see what you got, because you got a lot. I'm supporting Trump Vance in every other way possible. Peter Thiel said that? Wait, I got to hear this. Jim says, breaking, accelerationist oligarch Peter Thiel interferes with election by claiming that a close Harris victory will be the result of cheating. What? Thiel is preparing the ground for chaos and violence after the election for the Supreme Court. Why? Peter Thiel's so weird. Okay, here we go.
If it is going to be close, by the way, if it's like going to be a razor-thin close election, then I'm pretty sure Kamala will win because they will cheat, they will fortify it, they will steal the ballots.
What?
And so
what?
You know, if we can answer them in the event that it's close, I don't want to be involved. In the event that it's not close, I don't need to be involved. And so that's sort of a straightforward analysis right there. I am still very strongly pro-Trump, pro-JD. I've decided not to donate any money politically, but I'm supporting them in every other way possible. If it is going to be close, by the way.
Oh,
if
that's
it's
it.
if it's
Sorry.
like going to be a razor thin close election. If it is going to be close, by the way.
Shut up, Peter. Let's see. In case you missed it, Peter Thiel owns J.D. Vance like a personal android. Vance converted to Catholicism a year before Thiel gave him $15 million. This is so weird. It's so weird. That whole like connection of that in terms of how the Catholic piece connects people. Yeah, aggregated information voters need to know. This is what the purpose of the daily dose is. Okay, her accumulation of this. You're going to do this daily. Oh my God, Gal, that's so amazing. I'm so happy. I'm glad you're doing that again. So make sure you're following 5GW. Because that's the woman. That's the woman. Alito's disclosure. Okay, here we go. Alito's disclosure about the free tickets are significant for another reason. They reveal new insights into Alito and his wife Martha Ann's apparent personal ties to a European aristocrat who is deeply entrenched in an international right-wing movement that is seeking to advance conservative Catholic policies. Rad trad. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the rad trad's really big. Here's the other thing they talked a lot about yesterday at the town hall. Like they were having conversations, like conversations. No, he doesn't have a daughter. The conversations they were having. I need to bookmark this. The conversations they were having yesterday at the town hall, just like the casual conversations, like over drinks and stuff. More than once I heard the term ballot harvesting. So I suspect, I could be wrong, but I think there is and I've heard this from other like outlets. In fact, I heard it on War Room. That's right. So I think there are operations within, and I would look for Cause for America or Mike Lindell's people to be involved too, or maybe Phil Klein and all those people. I think there is something afoot on the Republican side to harvest ballots. Yes, chasing ballots. That's it. It's TPUSA. Thank you. Ballot chasers. So they're very excited about this ballot chasing thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know what that means. Does that mean they're going to get ballots that people aren't voting and vote them for them? I mean, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Are they going to go collect mail-in ballots from people that don't, that have moved? I just don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, the thing about it is, like, Peter Thiel, he's just crazy. He's a crazy motherfucker. I don't really understand. I think he's like, I hung around with because I worked in nonprofit in the Bay Area, and I worked with families that were like a couple of the founding families of Google and all that kind of stuff, right? They sent their kids to this school, and so so that's how I got to know some of those families. And I got to know a couple of the families really well, like really friends. And I can tell you firsthand, the billionaires in Silicon Valley at a certain point get bored and they end up looking for things to do and spend their money on. For example, the guy whose wife I knew really well decided to take a sabbatical and shoot himself up in a rocket and then do a space drop, like with a parachute, because he was bored. I'm not kidding. He's bored. So this ballot chasing has really given me pause, because that's what I think. Peter Thiel is I don't know what his deal is. I don't get it. All right, chase the vote. Now, so this is good. I want to Now, what are they going to do with the votes when ballot chasing is our newest approach to contacting voters who have already received mail-in ballots and encourage them. We're just encouraging them. Oh, our initiative will have huge number of door knockers to win the ballot game at the mailboxes. In 2024, Turning Point Action is looking to deploy an army of 1,000 plus field organizers, each responsible for tracking and chasing key target ballots in battleground states. We hope our program can encourage and accelerate other organizations to do the same and work together for decisive victories in Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada. So the swing states. The problem, the radical left is beating us in the ballot game. Yeah, it's not more votes. They're just beating us in the ballot game. And they have strategically concentrated their efforts on key states, massively expanding their ballot chasing operations. Is he talking about people like door knocking and canvassing or campaigning? This ballot chasing language has me thinking a little differently. I don't know. I mean, I might just listen to too much right-wing media, but sounds like a different thing. In 2024, Turning Point Action will launch the first and most robust conservative ballot chasing operation. With a strong national grassroots network and a track record of empowering conservative leaders, we are committed to ensuring every American makes a voting plan for victory. The 2022 election proved that there is hope for future of America. What? Despite Republican majorities in battleground states like Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, blah, 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 Republicans did not deliver their ballots. Yeah, your people don't vote. I got bad news for you, bitch. Chuds are lazy. They don't give a shit. Or they're too drunk. Yeah, don't come knocking on my door. Join the chase. Ballot today. Can't chase votes? Go ahead. Donate. Give us money. Give us all your money. Give me all your money. All your love and kisses too. Charlie Kirk. Whoa, he's got major teeth. He's got 2 sets of bottom teeth. Chase the vote. His outsized influence. You know what, though? They love him. Oh, my God. They were so excited that he had sent a taped message for them yesterday. Oh, my God. They just think he's the bee's knees. Now, these are the MAGA faithful, right? The people who come to the town halls, that wear the flag clothes, those are the MAGA faithful. Yeah. Did you notice yesterday, I don't know if you caught it in the tape, but when I was up on stage, she asked me how everyone had treated me there. And I said, she said, was everyone nice to you? And I said, well, mostly. And then I made a joke about a woman that doesn't like me, and the woman joked back. So I thought, we're winning. And she said, what do you think would happen if a MAGA came into an event like this held by Democrats? And I started to answer, and she literally cut me off. And she thought that was a flex. I'm like, wow, okay, I guess you don't want to know. I probably won't read all of this, but yeah. Charlie, I was real disappointed he wasn't there yesterday. I thought I was going to get a chance to meet Charlie Kirk. I was going to get a chance to ask him something. I should have thought, though, more about what the question was to ask him. I probably should have thought about that. Like, what was I going to ask him? Do you realize I have not smoked one fucking joint? I haven't even stuffed one yet. I got to do that. I'll do that after this stream. So no baking for this stream. Sober stream. No, not really. No, it probably is. I don't know. I don't ever feel high, really. Yeah. Anyway. How are those hypothetical MAGA behaving among civilized folk? What do you mean? The people from the event yesterday? I mean, they seemed somewhat civilized. I imagine their worldview doesn't feel very civilized if you get down into the details, but On the surface, they seemed quite civilized. And I have no doubt, Los Angeles, kind of the surrounding area, is pretty purple. It's kind of funny. We've got a really strong contingent of red in Beverly Hills and that area, kind of West LA. The people from the gotcha question. Are they dinosaur costumes? Wait, I kind of forgot what that refers to, and I'm sorry about that. The people from the gotcha question. Hypothetical question. I just am not remembering what I said that makes that specific, but I appreciate I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. This probably isn't answering your question, but I don't think. I mean, I think this is how they act. Nobody. I don't know. I'm not sure what the aim of the question is, and I want to answer it, but I'm sorry, I don't. I'm just not catching up on it. Hypothetical. Which hypothetical? Sorry. Or those hypothetical MAGA? I think they, this was similar to the event in Santa Barbara, and kind of like these people are pretty wealthy, and they don't live in. I would imagine that they live in Los Angeles proper. Maybe a couple Beverly Hills, stuff like that, but they certainly don't live in East Hollywood, and where I live, and then I think they also come from the surrounding area, right? So I think they operate in their. I think they kind of stick to their own. I mean, I as many people do. It's not unusual. Haven't read it yet, but plan to add to the daily if it meets the standard. I love that. Oh, the Ann Applebaum. Let me see. Poland. Oh my God. Poland. What's the matter? Ann Applebaum. I watched what happened in Poland when the legitimate democratically elected government tried to curb judicial independence. Could it happen in the U.S. too? So you're going to read this and see if it's... Oh, this is a free article. Okay, well, great. I know. How long is it? I might read it tomorrow. I think I'll read it tomorrow. I like this. Thank you. I think I might read that tomorrow. Yeah, add it to the dose. Yes, and here's the thing, Gal, I would love to. I'll pull up your daily dose as part of the Wake and Bake. Neil, hi, welcome. I'm about to end, Neil. I'm so sorry. What a loser I am. But let's. I will use your daily dose, Gal, as a way to. It'd be fun. Those would be like headlines. Sorry. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. I think that'd be fun. This is something Gal and I have actually kind of dreamed about for a long time. So actually, this could be the beginning of something beautiful. Yes, I know. Well, I love I love these long articles too that go a little deeper. I think they're really interesting. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Power team. Fuck yeah. Cal Squad. Never lets me down. Always there. Always there, always true. I gotta have friends. I love you so, always will. I always mix that up with Bill. That's a rock song. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you. You saw a fresh Trump sign in town. Still far fewer. God, I hope so. Paul J., I really hope so. I hope the Trump train doesn't come running through. I cannot believe that they want this guy who is such a fucking loser. But they're making him a god in front of our eyes. So watch out, everybody. Jesus Christ on a cracker. And one more thing. But yeah, I'm going to go tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, everything else around that. Space, our weekly space on Twitters. Please join us for just our weekly, like, chill, like, get ready for the week, clear our heads, laugh about something. I don't know what. Get a funny person up on panel who disagrees. I don't know what'll happen. So please come tonight to the space, Lolo's Spaced Out Space, and just get your week started. And then tomorrow morning, you saw a video of an economist from the Bay Area criticizing. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that criticize economic policies, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah. So come back here tomorrow morning. Right. Don't miss it. Tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Wake and Bake with Lolo. There's probably some congressional stuff starting to happen. So I think we're going to have some stuff to chew on. And we'll start with the daily dose and then we'll go from there. But anyway, that's great. Love you guys. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And yesterday was great. And I'm so sorry. I couldn't see any chat. I actually didn't even think there was anybody online with me because my thing read 0 the whole time. So I was like, oh, I hope somebody's watching. But Bobo was watching. I know Bobo was watching. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I don't know if you have a link or anything, but I'll take. I probably could Google what the economic reaction is to. Yeah, totally. I would like to look at that. I just think it's a little early, but anyway, I don't know. What do I know? I reran yesterday's Dino. Oh, thanks, Neil. It was fun. I'm gonna do it again. So I'll look for other events. But thanks again for coming today. Have a great Monday. All right. Make it a Friday of a Monday. All right, baby. Get that Friday feeling. Look at Cliff Live. Okay, I will, Paul J. Thank you so much. Yes, have a great day, everybody. Lee, love you so much. I love you all, and you're really great. And I'm really grateful that you're here. And thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it. Okay. I'll see you later. Bye.